Number 1, Clandestine, is owned by Alexander J. Godin, trained by Carlos Lopez. The jockey, Henry Garcia. Number 2, Country Tip, the owner, Lloyd W. Cox. The trainer, Charlie Bloomquist, and the riders, Danny Mitchell. Number 3, Rich and Dusty, is owned by Bob Reno and Hal Brockhouse, trained by Tom Baisley. In the saddle, jockey Eddie Garcia. Number 4, Diddy Passam, is owned by Johnny Henderson, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, and the rider, Roman Figueroa. Number 5 is the high weight 6-a-run, owned by Preston Carter and R.W. Boston, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt and ridden by Kip Didericksen. Number 6, Bad and Glad, owned by Gary E. Pogue, trained by Russell Harris, the rider John Krager. Your current favorite is number 7, Oh My Dash, owned by B.F. Phillips Jr., trained by Blane Schvaneveldt and ridden by James Lackey. And rounding out the field is number 8, Texelka, owned by W.C. Day and B. Duggar, trained by Jim Williams and ridden by Jim Lewis. That's the field for the inaugural handicap. Post time now in 6 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, here are your daily triple probabilities. They're all on the gate. Number 5, 6-a-run, is delaying the start. And away they go. Oh My Dash is going to the front. 6-a-run is second. Country Tip is third. Clandestine and Texelka on the far outside. That's Z's 5 in the run to the wire. Down along the inside, Clandestine. But here comes Oh My Dash and Texelka. Oh My Dash. And now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the inaugural handicap, number 7, Oh My Dash. Oh My Dash is owned by B.F. Phillips Jr., trained by Blane Schvaneveldt and ridden by James Lackey. Oh My Dash, a 7-year-old gelding by Dash for Cash, out of Call Me Cutie. The winning time for the 350 yards, 17.77 seconds. The 9th race is now official. Number 7, Oh My Dash, the winner. Number 8, Texelka, running second. Number 1, Clandestine, finishing third. They're all on the gate. And away they go. From the inside, Perfect Arrangement quickly is going to the front. Lover's Talk is second. Gaffaci is third. Elan's Victory is fourth. That's Perfect Arrangement down along the inside with the lead. Lover's Talk on the far outside, but Perfect Arrangement moving strongly by a length and a half. Now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the first trial for the La Primera del Año Derby is number 1, Perfect Arrangement. Perfect Arrangement is owned by Robert W. Moore, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, and the winning jockey James Lackey. Perfect Arrangement, a 3-year-old filly by Easy Jet out of Go Cherokee Go. The winning time for the 400 yards is 20.33 seconds. The fourth race is now official. Number 1, Perfect Arrangement, the winner. Number 6, Lover's Talk, running second. Number 5. And away they go. That's Countess Quickly from the middle of the track. Going to the front, Cash Perks is second, making ways down along the inside. Is third, Madollar Mia is fourth. Now it's Cash Perks with the lead. Countess Quickly on the outside, making ways down along the inside. It's Cash Perks with the lead, making ways. And now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the second trial for the La Primera del Año Derby, number 2, Cash Perks. Cash Perks is owned by the Meadow Creek Ranch. A training double tonight for Blane Schwaneveldt, the winning jockey Roman Figueroa. Cash Perks, a 3-year-old filly by Dash for Cash, out of Perks. The winning time for the 400 yards is 20.08 seconds. The fifth race is now official. Number 2, Cash Perks, the winner. Number 1, Making Ways, finishing second. And number 5, Countess Quickly, running third. They're all on the gate again. And away they go. Little Annie Orphan from the far outside is going to the front. Florentine is second. Angel Lane down along the inside is third. Totally Lulu is fourth. It's the multiple stakes winner, Florentine, moving strongly on the lead. Angel Lane down along the inside. Mother Mary on the outside. Florentine in front. And away they go. She is Dainty Lace from the middle of the track, is going to the front. Mary Dew on the outside is second. Miss Classy Rocket racing on the far outside is third. Native Chickie now moving up down along the inside. That's Mary Dew with the lead. Native Chickie. Here comes Miss Classy Rocket on the outside. Mary Dew and Miss Classy Rocket. This is now official. Number 6, Mary Dew, the winner. Number 7, Miss Classy Rocket, finishing second. And number 2, Native Chickie, running third. The $2 exacta combination of number 6 and 7, returning $16.40. The horses are now on the track for the featured 9th race. This is the running of the $307,000 La Primera del Año Derby for 3-year-old fillies, going 400 yards. And here's the field. Your favorite is number 1, Cash Perks, owned by the Meadow Creek Ranch of Auburn, California, trained by Blane Schwaneveldt and ridden by Roman Figueroa. Number 2, Making Ways, owned by Edward C. Allred of Long Beach, California, trained by Bruce Hawkinson. In the saddle is jockey Ralph Pauline. Number 3, Mary Do, is owned by Paul Q. Reed of La Sierra, California, trained by Bob Baffert, and the rider Kip Didericksen. Number 4, La Chantel, owned and trained by Charlie Bloomquist of Chino, California, and the jockey is Danny Mitchell. Here's number 5, Features Favorite, owned by Jack and John F. Giltonen of Irvine, California, the trainer H.L. Hooper, and the rider Danny Cardoza. Number 6, Medallar Mia, is owned by the Wichita Equine of Houston, Texas, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, the rider Eddie Garcia. Number 7, Florentine, is owned by the White Oaks Ranch of Lake Hughes, California, trained by Russell Harris and ridden by Kenneth Hart. Number 8, Countess Quickly, is owned by William H. Weiss of Long Beach, California, trained by W.J. Cummings and ridden by Henry Garcia. Number 9, Perfect Arrangement, is owned by Robert W. Moore of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the trainer Blane Schvaneveldt, and the jockey James Lackey. And rounding out the field is number 10, Lover's Talk, owned by James P. and Jackie J. Tanton of Arlington, Texas, trained by James MacArthur and ridden by John Krager. Those are the horses for the La Primera del Año Derby. Post time in 6 minutes. And away they go. That's Making Ways, going to the front. Cash Perks down along the inside. Is second, Countess Quickly, and Medallar Mia right there now. Florentine under the urging moves up along with Perfect Arrangement. Cash Perks, the winner of the Golden State Futurity, but here comes Florentine, and Florentine moving strongly on the outside of Cash Perks. And we have a photo finish. Now down in the winner's circle to present a trophy to the winning owner of the La Primera del Año Derby is Mr. Robert Boniface, Vice President of the Peninsula Quarter Horse Racing Association. And now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the $307,000 La Primera del Año Derby is number 7, Florentine. Florentine is owned by the White Oaks Ranch of Lake Hughes, California, trained by Russell Harris, and the winning jockey Kenneth Hart. Florentine is a 3-year-old filly by Dash for Cash out of Trippy Dip. The winning time for the 400 yards, 19.79 seconds. The 9th race is now official. Number 7, Florentine, the winner. Number 1, Cash Perks running second. And number 8, Countess Quickly finishing third. The winning $2 exacta combination, number 7 and 1, pays $25.20. The winning daily triple combination of numbers 2, 1, and 7, worth $338.20. In the 10th and final race, to be run at 350 yards, we offer $2 exacta wagering. And ladies and gentlemen, the horses are now on the track for the 9th race, running of the $245,000 El Primero del Año Derby, a Grade 1 Derby for 3-year-old colts and geldings going 400 yards. Introducing the field, we have an entry in here, number 1, fastest qualifier Cabochon, owned by the White Oaks Ranch, trained by Russell Harris, and ridden by the jockey who won the La Primera del Año Derby last night, Kenneth Hart. The other part of the entry, number 1A, Hold All Tickets, owned by Russell Harris and Bill Foltz, trained by Russell Harris and the jockey John Krager. Number 2, Winner's Foe, is owned by John Koutsoutis, trained by Yogi Britos, and the jockey Joe Ruiz. Here's number 3, Mighty Fine Man, owned by Kay Pitts, trained by James MacArthur, and the rider is Eddie Garcia. Number 4, Gravelly Meadow, is owned by David or Gail Bloom, trained by Charlie Bloomquist, and the rider Danny Mitchell. Number 5, Good Wine, owned by the Smith Miller Livestock, trained by James MacArthur, in the saddle Bruce Pilkington. Here's number 6, Rare Night Out, owned by Chris and Charlene Cox, trained by Dan Francisco, and the rider Danny Cardoza. Number 7, The Guardian, is owned by Grady N. Johns, trained by Stephen Rothblum and ridden by Kip Didericksen. Number 8, Foles Dynasty, is owned by Bob or Francis Whelan, trained by Barry Woodhouse. In the saddle, jockey Jerry Nicodemus. Rounding out the field is number 9, Caddo Watch, owned by the Wichita Equine, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt and ridden by James Lackey. Those are your horses for the El Primero del Año Derby. Post time now in 7 minutes. Also number 5, Good Wine, acting up just a little bit in the gate. And away they go. Moving out from the inside, Winner's Foe is going to the front. Caddo Watch is second. Cabochon is third. Right there in between horses comes Mighty Fine Man. And moving up is The Guardian. Here comes Hold All Tickets, moving strongly on the far outside for jockey John Krager. And it's going to be Hold All Tickets and Winner's Foe heads apart. And the horses are now on the track for tonight's featured 9th race, running of the Foster City Handicap at 400 yards. Number 1, Sable Bunny, owned by M.W. Ikes or H. Constance of Caldwell, Idaho, trained by Blane Schwaneveldt, and the saddle jockey Ramon Figueroa. Number 2, Kiss Me Close, owned by George Simpson of Alberta, California, trained by Jim Strunk, the jockey Danny Cardoza. Here's number 3, Strike Away, owned by James P. and Jackie J. Tanton, trained by James MacArthur, and ridden by Eddie Garcia. Number 4, King of the Parade, is owned by B.F. Phillips Jr. of Frisco, Texas, the trainer Blane Schwaneveldt, and the rider James Lackey. Number 5, Have a Buck, is owned by A.W. Bowman of Long Beach, California, trained by Russell Harris, and ridden by John Krager. Rounding out the field is the high weight and the favorite, number 6, Knights Wheeler, owned by Hal J. Earnhardt of Queen Creek, Arizona, trained by Bob Baffert and ridden by Kip Didericksen. And away they go. From the outside, Knights Wheeler is going to the front. Sable Bunny is second. Strike Away right there in third. King of the Parade is fourth. Knights Wheeler on the outside, Strike Away, Sable Bunny and King of the Parade, but Knights Wheeler is going to give Kip Didericksen his 4th win of the night. Now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the Foster's City Handicap, is number 6, Knights Wheeler. Knights Wheeler is owned by Hal J. Earnhardt, a training double for Bob Baffert. The 4th win of the night for jockey Kip Didericksen. Knights Wheeler is a 3-year-old filly by Mr. Big Wheel out of Knight's favor. The time for the 400 yards, 19.75 seconds. The 9th race is now official. Number 6, Knights Wheeler, the winner. Number 3, Strike Away, running second. And number 1, Sable Bunny, finishing third. The winning $2 exacta combination, number 6 and 3, $29.80. The horses are now on the track for this afternoon's featured 9th race, running of the $15,000 added Alameda Handicap for 3-year-olds and upward, going 350 yards. We have an entry in here, number 1, Clandestine, owned by Alexander J. Godin, trained by Carlos Lopez. In the saddle, jockey Henry Garcia. The other part of the entry, number 1A, Kip's Cash, also owned by Alexander Godin, trained by Carlos Lopez, and the rider Eddie Garcia. Number 2, 6 A Run, owned by Preston Carter and R.W. Boston, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, the rider John Krager. Number 3, Diddy Passum, is owned by Johnny Henderson, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, the jockey Ramon Figueroa. Here's number 4, Otter Do Good, owned by Anna J. Ferrario, trained by Charles Treese, and the jockey Kip Didericksen. Rounding out the field is the high weight and the favorite, number 5, Oh My Dash, owned by B.F. Phillips Jr., trained by Blane Schwaneveldt, and the rider James Lackey. Those are your horses for the Alameda Handicap. Post time now in 8 minutes. And away they go. Kip's Cash quickly from the far outside is going to the front. Oh My Dash is second. Otter Do Good is third. 6 A Run is fourth. Kip's Cash is one to catch. Here comes Oh My Dash. These two on the run to the wire. Kip's Cash with Eddie Garcia. Oh My Dash. It's Kip's Cash in front. Now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the Alameda Handicap, number 1A, Kip's Cash. Kip's Cash is owned by Alexander J. Godin, trained by Carlos Lopez, and a riding triple today for Eddie Garcia. Kip's Cash, a 4-year-old gelding by Kipty's Charger out of Lady Jet Commander. By recording his 3rd win of the afternoon, jockey Eddie Garcia, along with the trainer of Kip's Cash, Carlos Lopez, received gift certificates to the Vans Restaurant in Belmont. The winning time, hand-timed, in the Alameda Handicap of 17.70 seconds. This race was hand-timed. The 9th race, now official. Number 1A, Kip's Cash, the winner. Number 5, Oh My Dash, running second. Number 3, Diddy Passum, finishing third. The horses are now on the track for this afternoon's featured 9th race, running of the Hillsdale Handicap at 870 yards. Number 1, Smokin' Investment, owned by Alva G. Weber, trained by Brett Lane, and the jockey Kenneth Hart. Here's number 2, What Luck's Delight, owned by David H. Clymer, trained by Russell Harris, in the saddle jockey John Krager. Number 3 is the defending champion Jetliner Joe, owned by Martha or Dwayne Wells, trained by Dwayne Wells, and the jockey Kip Didericksen. Number 4, Bimmy's Bull Bars, is owned by the Run for Fun Partners, trained by Cesar Dominguez, and ridden today by Henry Garcia. Your high weight and current favorite is number 5, Pariso Tomo, owned by Bobby E. Moore, trained by H.L. Hooper, in the saddle jockey Richard Vaughn. Here's number 6, Touch of Good, owned by Ronald S. Goodman, trained by Jesse Maldonado, and ridden by Lute Proctor. Number 7, Rise Again, is owned by Vern or Josette Olson, trained by Gene Balding, the rider Gary Bogue. And rounding out the field, number 8, Bleep, owned by Sidney H. Vale, trained by Calvin Mims, the rider Jody Spicknell. Post time for the 9th race in 8 minutes. They're all on the gate. And away they go. From the inside, Smokin' Investment is going to the front. Bimmy's Bull Bars is second. Rise Again racing on the far outside is third. Touch of Good in between horses is fourth. Jetliner Joe is fifth. Then we come back 3 lengths to Watluck's Delight in sixth. Bleep getting the good triple on the inside is seventh. As they come to the head of the stretch, that's Smokin' Investment with the lead. By ahead, Bimmy's Bull Bars right alongside is second by a length and 1/2. Down along the inside, Jetliner Joe is third. Bleep down at the fence. They come towards the final 1/8 of a mile. Bimmy's Bull Bars has a short lead. On the outside, Jetliner Joe and Smokin' Investment. These 3 in the run to the wire. On the outside, Bimmy's Bull Bars. Here's Smokin' Investment. Here's Jetliner Joe. Smokin' Investment. Jetliner Joe. Noses apart. Turning to the winner's circle, victorious in the Hillsdale Handicap is number 1, Smokin' Investment. Smokin' Investment is owned by Alva G. Weber, trained by Brett Lane, in the saddle jockey Kenneth Hart. Smokin' Investment is a 4-year-old gelding by Foolish Investment out of Lady Shreen. The winning time for the 870 yards, 45.26 seconds. The 9th race now official. Number 1, Smokin' Investment, the winner. Number 3, Jetliner Joe finishing second. Number 4, Bimmy's Bull Bars running third. The winning $2 exacta combination, numbers 1 and 3, $43.40. And the horses are now on the track for this afternoon's featured 9th race, the running of the $30,000 added Miss Peninsula Handicap at 400 yards for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward. Number 1, Time for Joan, owned by Barbara Snyder, trained by Russell Harris, in the saddle jockey John Kreger. Number 2, Princess Lady Bugs, is owned by Fred G. Latham III, trained by Jim Brookfield, and the rider Steve Treasure. Here's number 3, Country Tip, owned by Lloyd Cox, trained by Charlie Bloomquist and ridden by Danny Mitchell. Number 4, Rapid Dash, owned by Payne and Copeland, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, in the saddle Eddie Garcia. Number 5, Soul Suddenly, owned by Gene Dillard, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, the rider Roman Figueroa. Number 6, Lee's A Bold Chick, is owned by Jackie Williams and Linda Williams, trained by Charles Treese, and the rider Bobby Don Harmon. Here's number 7, Woodstock's Chick, owned by Alfred M. McMurdy, trained by John Lackey, and the rider Gary Bogue. Number 8, Texelka, owned by W.C. Day and B. Duggar, trained by Jim Williams, and the rider Jim Lewis. Here's your favorite and the defending Miss Peninsula Handicap winner last year, St. Willa, owned by R. Barber and H.D. Darby, trained by Dan Francisco, and the rider Danny Cardoza. And rounding out the field is number 10, T.L. Pie, owned by the Meadow Creek Ranch, trained by Blane Schwaneveldt, and ridden by James Lackey. Post time now for the 9th race in 8 minutes. They're all on the gate. And away they go. And defending champion St. Willa is going to the front. Time for Joan down along the inside. Is second. Racing in between horses. Rapid Dash is third. TL Pie now moving up on the outside. And Country Tip, and we have a driving finish. Here comes TL Pie and St. Willa. These two on the run to the wire. TL Pie with a short lead. St. Willa, their heads and noses apart. And now returning to the winner's circle. Now winning the Miss Peninsula Handicap 2 years in a row is number 9, St. Willa. St. Willa, owned by R. Barber and H.D. Darby, trained by Dan Francisco, and the winning jockey, Danny Cardoza. St. Willa is a 5-year-old mare by Meridoc out of Hollyhock's Doll. The winning time for the 400 yards, 19.96 seconds. The 9th race is now official. Number 9, St. Willa, the winner. Number 10, TL Pie, running second. Number 8, Texelka, finishing third. The winning $2 exacta combination, numbers 9 and 10, returns $39. The winning daily triple combination of numbers 3, 6, and 9, worth $19.60. The horses are now on the track for this afternoon's featured 9th race. This is the running of the Woodside Handicap for 3-year-olds and upward, going 400 yards. Number 1, Face Date, is owned by Joe Montleone, trained by Frank Montleone, and ridden by John Ward. Here's your favorite, number 2, Knight's Wheeler, owned by Hal Earnhardt, trained by Bob Baffert. In the saddle, jockey Kip Didericksen. Number 3, El Banco, is owned by Carrie L. Stockton, trained by Vaughn Ellis, and ridden today by Jose Perez. Number 4, Mink Pajamas, owned by the Victor J. Krause Farms, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, the rider James Lackey. Number 5, Solid Gold Patches, owned by E. Fussell and M. and L. Shapiro, also trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, the rider Eddie Garcia. Number 6, New Year's Special, owned by Bobby Moore, trained by H.L. Hooper, the rider Danny Cardoza. Rounding out the field, number 7, Vandy's Policy, owned by Fred Waterworth, trained by Charles Treese and ridden by John Kreger. Post time for the 9th race in 8 minutes. On the way they go. Face Date from the inside is going to the front. El Banco is second. Knight's Wheeler in between horses is third. Vandy's Policy now ranging up on the outside. Face Date down along the inside has a short lead, but here comes Mink Pajamas moving strongly on the outside. Vandy's Policy. Mink Pajamas, here comes Vandy's Policy. The winner's circle to present a trophy to the winning owner of the Woodside Handicap, Mr. Jim Smith, the vice president and general manager of the Peninsula Quarter Horse Racing Association. And now in the winner's circle is number 7, Vandy's Policy. Vandy's Policy, owned by Fred Waterworth. A training double today for Charles Treese, a riding double for John Kreger. Vandy's Policy, an 8-year-old gelding by Reb's Policy out of Leo Vandy Girl. The winning time for the 400 yards, 19.92 seconds. The 9th race is now official. Number 7, Vandy's Policy, the winner. Number 4, Mink Pajamas, finishing second. Number 3, El Banco, running third. The $2 exacta combination, number 7 and 4, returns $51 even.
And away they go. Amazing Gal is going to the front. Multiplicity is second. Louise Nublado is third. Now Special Shake moves up in the middle of the track. Amazing Gal's the one they're going to have to catch. Special Shake on the inside. Amazing Gal, Special Shake, their heads apart. Amazing Gal. And away they go. That's Fool's Fancy from the inside. Going to the front, Mismo Duino is second. Dashing Dawn right there in the middle of the track is third. Now Dashing Dawn has a short lead. Mismo Duino, Fool's Fancy. These three in the run to the wire. Dashing Dawn has the lead. Here's Mismo Duino. Their heads apart and Fool's Fancy. This is now official. Number 3, Mismo Duino, the winner. Number 5, Dashing Dawn running second. Finishing third, and number 2, Fool's Fancy. The winning $2 exacta combination, numbers 3 and 5, pays $36.60. And away they go. A lot of hemping quickly as going to the front. You looky there. Is second, Sailing On and On. Is third, Past Due Payment. Now moving up on the far outside. Past Due Payment on the outside. You looky there. Here's Sailing On and On. These three on the run to the wire. Past Due Payment. You looky there. You looky there. Past Due Payment. Heads apart. And away they go. From the outside, Danceability is going to the front. El Fasto down along the inside. Is second, Spy Smasher right there in between horses. Is third, Danceability on the outside. El Fasto, here's Spy Smasher. But now Danceability begins to accelerate over Spy Smasher. It's Danceability. Third was number 5, Spy Smasher. Winning $2 exacta combination, numbers 8 and 1. Returns $7.80. And away they go. From the outside, Big Hitter is going to the front. Wilderness right there in second. LaBerner also moving up. In third is Silver Beduino is fourth. That's Wilderness with the short lead. Here comes the Big Hitter on the outside. LaBerner. Wilderness over Big Hitter. Wilderness in front. And away they go. That's Hold Until Friday. Going to the front, Sweet Michael is second. Cash Special is third. Racing down along the inside, Mr. Declark. Hold Till Friday has a short lead, but here comes Sweet Michael moving strongly on the outside. Hold Till Friday. Here's Sweet Michael and Cash Special. The winning $2 exacta combination, numbers 4 and 8, returns $27. The winning daily triple combination in numbers 8, 3, and 4, $79.80. And away they go. From the inside, that's Town Native. Going to the front, Key to the Cash is second. Lucky Cute Bar is third. Lucky Fast is fourth. Then we go a length back to He's a Royal Champion. Racing wide in fifth by 3 lengths. Fight Doctor is sixth. By Head High Alliance is seventh. Enjoying the Woodpile. As they come to the head of the stretch, Key to the Cash on the outside has the lead. By Head, Town Native is second by 3 lengths. Lucky Cute Bar is third by another 3 lengths on the outside. He's a royal champion. They come inside the final eighth of a mile. Key to the Cash and Town Native. The two Cesar Dominguez horses going heads apart in the run to the wire. Town Native clings to a short lead. Key to the Cash right there. Town Native over Key to the Cash. They're all in the gate. And away they go. From the inside, Truly's Honey is going to the front. Natural Pleasure is second. Good Pride is third. She's a Rosy Deal racing wide. In fourth, She's No Lady. MBM is fifth. Toro Loco hugging the rail is sixth. And 440 Kid is the trailer. As they come to the head of the stretch, that's Natural Pleasure with the lead. By ahead, Truly's Honey is second by a 1 length. Racing on the extreme outside, Good Pride is third by a length and a half. Toro Loco down along the inside. They're in the stretch, and Natural Pleasure's the one to catch there by a length and a half. Racing on the extreme outside, Good Pride is second. She's No Lady. MBM right there in 440 Kid. Natural Pleasure trying to give Henry Garcia a back-to-back double. On the outside comes She's No Lady. MBM. And away they go. And that's finally tuned. Quickly going to the front, St. Willa is second. Chingaderos right there in third. TL Pie is fourth. The favorite Pie Runner got off to a bad start. Finally tuned. She's telling him to come and catch him. Chingaderos. TL Pie down on the inside. Finally tuned, moving strongly over Chingaderos. Finally tuned. And now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the Peninsula Championship and earning an invitation to the Champion of Champions, number 4, Finally Tuned. Finally Tuned, owned by David Plummer of Apple Valley, California, trained by Wayne Thompson, the winning jockey Roman Figueroa. Finally Tuned is a 6-year-old mare by Meritable out of Mini Blast. And the winning time for the 400 yards, 19.74 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, the horses are now on the track for the featured 9th race, the running of the richest race in Northern California, the $438,500 Golden State Derby for 3-year-olds going 440 yards, and the winner of the Golden State Derby earning an invitation to the Champion of Champions. Let's begin with the favorite entry of number 1 Florentine and number 1A Hold All Tickets. Florentine, the winner of the La Primera del Año Derby, owned by the White Oaks Ranch, trained by Russell Harris, and ridden by Kenneth Hart. The winner of the El Primero del Año Derby, number 1A Hold All Tickets, is owned by Russell Harris and Bill Foltz, trained by Russell Harris and ridden by John Krager. Here's number 2 Gravelly Meadow, owned by David or Gail Bloom, trained by Charlie Bloomquist, in the saddle jockey Danny Mitchell. Number 3 Bugsy Seagulls, owned by Robert J. or Joan Mazzaros, trained by Charlie Bullerjack, the rider Jim Lewis. Here's number 4 French Crystal, owned by Roger Knight Jr., trained by Bruce Bell, the rider Kip Didericksen. Number 5, Rare Night Out, is owned by Chris and Charlene Cox, trained by Dan Francisco, and the rider John Ward. The winner of last year's Bay Meadows Futurity, number 6, Chicks Beduino, owned by R&J Muniz and J. Bobenreith Jr., trained by Connie Hall, the rider James Lackey. Number 7, Medallar Mia, owned by the Wichita Equine of Houston, Texas, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, and the jockey Steve Treasure. And rounding out the field is your fastest qualifier, number 8, Special Sound, owned by Darrell D. Davenport, trained by Dan Francisco, and ridden by Danny Cardoza. And away they go in the Golden State Derby. And moving out from the outside, that's Hold All Tickets going to the front, racing in between horses. Florentine is second. Right there, Medallar Mia is third. Chicks Beduino is fourth. Now Florentine comes up the long shot. Medallar Mia makes a race of it. These two in the run to the wire. And Florentine with a narrow edge over Medallar Mia. Number 1, Florentine, the unofficial winner. Number 7, Medallar Mia running second. And we have a photo for the show. And ladies and gentlemen, now down in the winner's circle to present a trophy to the winning owner of Northern California's richest horse race, the Golden State Derby. Two very special people. First of all, the leading thoroughbred rider here at Bay Meadows for the last 7 years, Russell Bays. Also down in the winner's circle is Mr. Spencer L. Childers, the president of the Peninsula Quarter Horse Racing Association. Number 1A, Hold All Tickets, finishing third, and number 6, Chicks Beduino, running fourth. Now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the Golden State Derby earlier this season, the winner of the La Primera del Año Derby, number 1, Florentine. Florentine is owned by the White Oaks Ranch, trained by Russell Harris, and ridden by Kenneth Hart. Florentine is a 3-year-old filly by Dash for Cash out of Trippy Dip. The winning time for the 440 yards, 21.52 seconds. The 9th race is now official. Number 1, Florentine, the winner. Number 7, Medallar Mia, finishing second. Number 1A, Hold All Tickets, running third. The winning $2 exacta combination, numbers 1 and 7, returns $37.20. And away they go. That's Big Hitter going to the front. Mr. Declark is second. Spy Smasher is third. Victory Ride in fourth. Mr. Declark moving best of all on the lead. Victory Ride, Big Hitter, Spy Smasher on the outside. But it's going to be Mr. Declark in a runaway. And now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the Bay Meadows Futurity Consolation is number 6, Mr. Declark. Mr. Declark is owned by Joe T. Hudgens, trained by Judd Morris, the winning jockey Kenneth Hart. Mr. Declark is a 2-year-old gelding by Moonlark out of Ms. May Deck. Winning time for the 350 yards, 17.94 seconds.
The 7th race is now official. Number 6, Mr. Declark, the winner. Number 8, Spice Smasher running second. And number 4, Victory Ride finishing third. The winning $2 exacta combination, number 6 and 8.
And away they go. From the inside, Bleep is going to the front, now moving up on the outside. Daylight Avenger takes the lead by 3/4 of a length. Smokin' Investment is second by a half a length. Racing on the extreme outside, For the Love of Money is third by 1 length. Racing very wide, Pariso Tomo in fourth. Rise Again is fifth. Jetliner Joe is sixth. Bleep is the trailer. As they come to the head of the stretch, Daylight Avenger has the lead, hugs the rail by a length and a half. Now Smokin' Investment takes up the chase on the outside. In second, Bleep closing in third. Here they come inside the final eighth of a mile. Now Smokin' Investment takes over the lead from Daylight Avenger, Bleep, and For the Love of Money. On the outside, Smokin' Investment. Down along the inside, Daylight Avenger, Smokin' Investment.
Are members of the Pearl Harbor Survivors Association. We welcome the group here to Bay Meadows this evening. And now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the 870 championship is number 2, Smokin' Investment. Smokin' Investment is owned by Alva G. Weber, trained by Brett Lane. Getting a riding double tonight, jockey Kenneth Hart. Smokin' Investment, a 4-year-old gelding by Foolish Investment out of Lady Shreen. Winning time for the 870 yards is 46 seconds flat. The 9th race is now official. Number 2, Smokin' Investment, the winner. Number 4, Daylight Avenger finishing second. Number 1, Bleep running third. The winning $2 exacta combination, numbers 2 and 4, $11.60. The horses are now on the track for the running of the featured 10th race. In today's 10th race, the $376,100 Bay Meadows Futurity for 2-year-olds going 350 yards. Introducing the field, number 1, Danceability, owned by Robert L. Rosenthal, trained by H.L. Hooper, and the jockey Danny Cardoza. Here's number 2, Cash Special, owned by the Dixie Farms, trained by Carlos Lopez. In the saddle is jockey Eddie Garcia. Number 3, Amazing Gal, owned by Hollis or Priscilla Showalter, trained by Moniola Maker and the rider Steve Treasure. Number 4, You Looky There is owned by Mr. and Mrs. William M. Ritchie, trained by James MacArthur and the jockey Jeff Williams. Number 5, Sweet Michael is owned by Max Barclay, trained by James Maple, the rider Kip Didericksen. Here's number 6, El Fasto, owned by Edward C. Allred, trained by Bruce Hawkinson and ridden by Ralph Pauline. Number 7, Special Shake is owned by C.B. Albrecht and A. DeLellis Jr., the trainer Russell Harris and the rider John Krager. Number 8, Wilderness, owned by Spencer L. Childers, trained by Darren Charlton and ridden today by jockey John Ward. Number 9, Past Due Payment, owned by the Wardell Ranch, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt and ridden by James Lackey. And rounding out the field is number 10, Hold Till Friday, owned by James G. Markham, trained by Dan Francisco and ridden by Kenneth Hart. Post time now for the 10th race in 8 minutes. And away they go. Moving up from the outside, Hold Till Friday is going to the front. Wilderness right there in second. Danceability down along the inside is third. Past Due Payment making a big move on the outside. Here comes Past Due Payment. Wilderness, Danceability down along the inside. Past Due Payment on the outside.
And we have a photo finish. And now down in the winner's circle to present a trophy to the winning owner of the Bay Meadows Futurity, Mr. Robert Boniface, Vice President of the Peninsula Quarter Horse Racing Association. And now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the Bay Meadows Futurity is number 9, Past Due Payment. Past Due Payment, owned by the Wardell Ranch, trained by Blane Schvaneveldt, the winning jockey James Lackey. Past Due Payment, a 2-year-old gelding by Advanced Solution out of Final Solution. The winning time for the 350 yards, 17.76 seconds. The 10th race is now official. Number 9, Past Due Payment, the winner. Number 1, Danceability, finishing second. And number 7, Special Shake, running third. The winning $2 exacta combination, numbers 9 and 1, returns $195. And away they go. Natural Pleasure from the inside is going to the front. Town Native right alongside. In second by 2 lengths. That's Toro Loco down along the inside. In third by head. She's No Lady MBM is fourth by 1 length. Joy in the Woodpile is fifth. Fight Doctor caught wide. In sixth, 440 Kid is seventh. And Key to the Cash is the trailer. As they come to the head of the stretch, that's Town Native with the lead by head. Down along the inside, that's Natural Pleasure in second by 2.5 lengths. She's No Lady MBM moving up strongly on the outside. In third, on the far outside comes Fight Doctor. 440 Kid also has a chance. They're inside the final 16th of a mile. Henry Garcia goes to the whip, and now Town Native responds, drawing away by 2 lengths over 440 Kid and Natural Pleasure. Now returning to the winner's circle, victorious in the Gold Rush Derby, number 3, Town Native. Town Native is owned by the Stripsky Enterprises, trained by Cesar Dominguez, the winning jockey Henry Garcia. Town Native is a 3-year-old gelding by Foals Native out of Uptown Etta. Winning time for the 870 yards is 45.94 seconds. The 8th race is now official. Number 3, Town Native, the winner. Number 7, 440 Kid finishing second. And number 1, Natural Pleasure running third. The winning $2 exacta combination numbers 3 and 7, $36.60.